Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I want to talk about something different other than the wealth transfer. I'm going to be talking a little bit about this eclipse that is supposed to be happening on Monday, April the 8th. Right? This will be a total solar eclipse that will cross North America. It's going to pass over Mexico, the United States, Canada. A total solar eclipse will begin over the South Pacific Ocean. Now, this eclipse, there's plenty of prophecies now that are coming out of this, and I want people to stay rooted and grounded in this because for years and years, as long as I've been studying prophecy, I have heard all these events that always were supposed to happen around eclipses, and we didn't see any, right? And especially the 2010s was really big on the blood moons and eclipses and all that stuff that were happening, right? But there wasn't anything significant as far as, major biblical prophecy being fulfilled. So we are seeing prophecies. One of the videos that have been getting around is Chris's Rebirth of America, where he talks about the rebirth that America is going through is going to start on April the 8th during the eclipse. That's what he's saying. Now, folks, I've shared some of his prophecies before, and I'm still waiting for, some of other prophecies to fulfill, right? But I'm just sharing it because not only him, but especially after he made that video, I saw a flood more people making prophecy videos concerning the eclipse and all that stuff. So remember the 2023 solar eclipse, right? And there's a spot, X marks Texas. So a lot of people talk about, this is also could be prophecy related to the Madrid fault line, right? That could happen too as well. And I am working on a video on that. I have a whole bunch of people that have had prophecies about the Madrid fault line, including Brandon, right? And also, too, just going back and doing research, because I remember as a kid listening to these different shows, and they were talking about the Madrid fault line back when I was a kid, and the person's name was Edgar Casey, and he was a psychic, and also Gordon Michael Scallion. He was a psychic in the 90s, which he basically shared the same thing as all these other prophecies that are more recent. But I'm doing a video on that, and I'm going to put some things together with that. So if you saw that other video that I made concerning those massive blocks, right, that went along the last solar eclipse, that's pretty insane. And it just goes to show that, the ancients knew something, whether that was, in recent history or something that was done millions of years ago. So there's a lot of talk about this eclipse that's supposed to happen on Monday, April the 8th. Also, some disasters and other things that are supposed to come, concerning this, right? And there's a lot of fear and a lot of people like, oh, okay, what's going to happen? Something major is going to happen. And very well, something major could happen. But one of the things I wanted to share is that there's an event that's even probably more important than this. And it could actually technically happen on the same day. Now, if you guys know about the red heifers, what they are used for as far as in relations to the Jewish people, right, in Old Testament. There's the issue of rebuilding the third temple. Then you have this war between the Palestinians and Israel and everything that has taken place there. These red heifers were flown over to Israel to a secret location, as far as from what I understand, and one of them has been deemed not good enough for sacrifice. So it says here, the red cows being referred to are the 5 red Angus heifers imported from Texas in September of 2022. Interesting how that marks the spot, Texas. I wonder where exactly those red heifers were. So the 5 red Angus heifers imported from Texas in September 2022 through a joint effort established between a Christian ministry, Bona Israel, and the Temple Institute in Jerusalem. Now, this is important because this all deals with the third temple and what we're supposed to witness in the future, what's going to take place with Israel. At some point, there's going to be some type of an agreement or some way, somehow, that they're going to start building the third temple. It could be before the rapture, it could be after the rapture. It says here, only 9 heifers have been sacrificed since the time of Moses until the destruction of the second temple in 70 AD. The Rambam stated that the 10th Red Heifer Ceremony would bring in the Messianic age, right? So this is what they're looking to do. They're looking to sacrifice a red heifer, okay? And they're also in this article, they're attributing, that's one of the reasons why Hamas attacked Israel in the first place. They are trying to do this before Passover. Now, when is Passover? Passover is on sundown from Monday, April the 22nd, until nightfall, April the 30th. That's the Passover. It says here, as for now, 4 of the heifers remain blemish-free, and according to Temple Institute rabbis, they hope to carry out the ceremony before Passover 2024. Now, according to the Mishnah, the ceremony of the burning of the red heifer took place on the Mount of Olives. A ritually pure Kohen slaughtered the heifer and sprinkled its blood in the direction of the temple 7 times. The red heifer was then burned on pyre together with crimson dye wool, hyssop, and cedar wood. So this is a ceremony that they're supposed to do before the Passover. You could see it maybe even this month. So I didn't see anything else in relation to this yet, is if they're going to actually do this. And I think that if they did do this, I think it would really inflame, Muslims over there, right? Because it's supposed to be towards the direction of the temple. And you already know what stands where the temple used to be. So they hope to carry this out before Passover 2024. Now listen to this. Evangelical Christians who hold a futurist view of the Bible prophecy believe a third temple will be built and subsequently desecrated by the Antichrist before the return of the Messiah, Yeshua. Thus, for many in the religious Jewish community, as well as many evangelicals, there has been a great deal of anticipation surrounding these ladies in red, talking about the red heifers. So understand this. The ceremony will be done before the building of the third temple. Understand the third temple has to be built so the Antichrist can desecrate it. Jews are waiting for the Messiah. Muslims are waiting for the Muhammad. And Christians are waiting for the third temple to be built so that the events of Revelation can come to pass and then the return of Jesus Christ. And that the Antichrist wants the third temple to be built. He can only desecrate it if it's there. So this event, if they do this, I think is very important. It's a sign of things to come. It will probably inflame a lot of Muslims, but this could also reveal the Antichrist too as well. A lot of people believe that the Antichrist is actually going to be Muslim, and he will be the Muhammad to the Muslims. And one last piece that actually goes into the third temple being built, which is the Ark of the Covenant. So that also too is going to be revealed. And I think when the Ark of the Covenant is revealed, I think a lot of people who are not saved, regardless of if the rapture happens before or after, I think a lot of people are going to get saved when the Ark of the Covenant is actually revealed. And that's why I say this is very important, and more important than this whole thing with the eclipse. I think that if they actually do the ceremony, I really honestly think that it won't be too much longer before something happens concerning the third temple. Now they're saying that the second temple was actually not in the same place as the dome, right? So if there's like a major archaeological discovery that says that third temple is going to start being built right then and there. Now, if the Dome of the Rock is somehow destroyed, right, it'll have to be destroyed by Muslims in order for not to be a massive outrage, right? Now, if Israel does it, there's going to be a massive outrage, right, towards Israel. So that could happen. That is a possibility. But also, they've talked about moving the Dome of the Rock to like Saudi Arabia or some other place, so it wouldn't be there. Now, that would take an extraordinary feat, and I'm pretty sure that's possible. And it might be the path that the Antichrist takes if they don't build a temple somewhere else. But somehow, some way, that third temple is going to be built. So look for this to possibly happen and take place. And this will be very important spiritually, because it goes to show how close we really are. Now, keep in mind, I do want to bring up, regardless of the eclipse or not, when I hear a lot of these prophecies, I've been involved with prophecy for a very long time, even going back when I first started to purchase dinar. And we would discuss, before I even started making videos, we were discussing some of the same things we're discussing today. Like fiat and the markets, crashing and all that, and going into gold and silver and into other investments. So it's easy to say, okay, after the eclipse, there's all these things that are supposed to happen. Well, a lot of these things that I'm expecting, that I hear in prophecies today, were things that we discussed many years ago. Of course, if fiat crashes, it's going to be hectic all around the world. I've still got videos talking about a lot of the things that are supposed to happen during that time period before I really got into some of the things I get into now. But a lot of these things we expected to happen anyway, right? We didn't know about certain events like with the presidency and a lot of other things, but as far as so a lot of the chaos, dealing with the markets and what's supposed to happen maybe within some of these countries and all that, some of that was already expected. So I just wanted to share that, those few additional thoughts, because a lot of things are expected to happen, right? And there's a lot of prophecies out there dealing with the eclipse. And of course, there's going to be things that happen after the eclipse. There's the things that we were already expecting to happen. We're already expecting a fiat crash. We're already expecting, things to be crazy or whatever. And that's why we are preparing for that. So anyways, I just wanted to share this. And hopefully you guys have learned something with this, and maybe we'll see this. If we see this, that could be a major sign that we are not that far off from Jesus Christ returning. So that's all that I have for this today. I thank you for listening. God bless. TC out.